Hello, 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 hello. Okay. Somehow or another, my mic got disconnected. So I don't know when that happened. So we are back with another installment of What to Do with Your Glue Pages. So, as you may recall, there is these. So when I am gluing stuff down and the pages get too sticky, I just fold them in half, glue them shut, so it becomes a double-sided page, and then I set them aside for later use. So what I've done with this stack, I have 6 here, is I trimmed an inch off of them because they were too wide to be tags, because they would literally be like the width of a page and wouldn't fit in a pocket. So I took an inch off. I cut my corners, covered the backs, and as you can see, I've also sewn around them. So that has them ready to decorate. What I've also pulled out, and now I'm second guessing, I have this massive roll. This is what's called a snippet roll. And this is on adding machine tape. And I think when I did this, it was like 67 feet. It's a lot. It is over there on the shelves by my paper punches. I forget about it all the time. But basically, I mean, the concept is you have your base and you just add snippets of stuff. Snippets of paper. You can do labels, you could do pictures, you could, I mean, anything you want. I chose to do mine just as a base to use in other crafts. Like I said, it's back in there behind me. It's back by the door on the shelves with my paper punches. So I forget about it all the time. So I thought, well, I'll pull it out and try to use it. But now that I went through my my Washington books, I've got, I don't know, I think I got like 3, 4, 5 books on Washington. And I went through, pulled out all the pictures out that I liked, and but you know they're massive pages. So I went through and I found some that I liked, that I could take little pieces out of. But now that I've got those, I'm not so sure that I like the snippet roll with it. I don't know. I'll kind of play that by ear. But I do have another idea in mind. Because of all the die cutting that I've been doing, just got done doing slot pockets. I have all these fun little things. All these just fun little strips that I can play with potentially. So lots of funness there. I started throwing them away and then I'm like, what am I doing? Super glue. Have any more hiding out in there? Okay. Doesn't look like it. All right. So the idea behind behind a snippet roll is that you can take the whole thing and you set it down and it immediately decorates a tag, creates a base. But then with my picture, I'm like, I don't really know. So here was my other idea. I also need to go get my paper punch. I meant to get some corner punches. Is taking some of these that are in the color family sort of that. And I can just randomly kind of like a game of pickup sticks. You may be able to hear, I don't know if you can hear the vibration going on. If you can, I have my massage belt on my lower back. So you may be able to hear that. I'm not super sure. But just in case. So that was kind of my thought there. And then don't really like that either. Okay. Let me go grab one of my corner punchers. Whoops. Grab two. Have to adjust the massage belt, and I lost hold of it, and it fell to the ground. So these are nice, neat little punchers. There's 3 in this one. There's 3 on this one. And it gives you an idea of what it's going to punch. This one is really stiff. It's hard for me to do. This one's much nicer. It's easier. So it cuts out a little there. Now, and with the snippet roll being the size that it is, I mean, obviously it's covering up a majority of the Collage Masterboard. So you can tear down if you want. I think I will. I remember when I was sewing this, because my sewing machine is very loud and obnoxious. My granddaughter was here, and she comes in, she goes, "Grandma, I need you to stop. That is really loud, and it's obnoxious." Like, well, I will close my door, but I've got things that I'm doing, so. See, not bad. I had it this way, but that was dark on dark down here. So I flipped it around so that there was a little more dark up there under the blue. Oops, I also did not have my glue ready. Might be hearing that massaging. It's funny to look at the way the glue responds to the heat transfer tape. Yeah, my lower back has been killing me. Actually killed the battery on the this pack twice today. Around the edges there, around the corner, around the corner. Okay, center that as best I can. And then I have a good old map of Washington. Oh, I put my wow. Okay. I put my punches away today. Let's see. Not sure about this one. We're gonna give it a shot. Let's see. See if I like the size of it. And then I'm just going to create a little tab here. And I'm not going to leave it, I'm not going to have it stick up. I'm going to put it flush with the top, at least on this one. Now, most of these, I don't know where in Washington they are. The images are. The only one I do know is Spokane. And that's because A, it's near me, and B, I've spent a lot of time there. So I almost feel like I want some lace or something. Okay, and then we have this really cool church. I almost want to cut it down more, though. I do. Good old Tina trick. You fold it and just trim right out the fold. Your pages come apart and you don't get that weird fold line on your stuff. And a big part of that is I wanted that showing through. But I'm going to trim, I'm going to tear this. It's too many straight edges. You go on the heat transfer on that transfer paper again. Again, that's kind of traveling there a little bit. My cow fell. My little Highlander cow. One of them. Okay, so I have to do that. I'm going to stand up for this. I'm telling you, that one's really hard on my hand. Okay. Since I'm standing, just grabbing some of my laces. I will say, having this vibrating on my lower back is doing a little something with my bladder. I don't want to cover that up. Put some glue along this bottom here. Glue this lace on there first. Excuse me. Glue the rest of the page. Corner. Corner. More glue here. Some of that, most of that glue that I used to glue the lace down should seep through. Should seep through. Do I want to do another map tag? Don't really like the color scheme of that. Let's see, that's kind of in my neck of the woods part of the map. Oh, not kind of. It is. Did not want to go. The pin did not want to go in. like it right there. And I am going to be covering a little bit of that up. But you can still see this one. Yeah, see, I don't like that. So I think I'm going to skip the tag on that one. And we have this, whoops, we have this one. I don't know where in Washington this is. I am making a paper shredding mess. So let's start with this. I used so much glue when I made this snippet roll too. Kind of like that because it brings out some of the orange. Tuck that up under there a little. Let's see. Some laces here. Pretty much covering up that entire snippet. I do that. So let's start with this. Just glue in the back for the moment. Just to get it centered on there. Okay. This one, I want to leave it square. I should have at least 4 of those greens. Ooh, this setting is tickling my bladder. Oh, there it is. I am going to leave the corners squared off. I'm also not gluing it all the way down the bottom just yet, because I'm going to put some of these over and some of them under. If I glue the page all the way down, that's not an option. Got that one breaking the borders of the stitch line. I'm going to glue this the rest of the way down. Yeah, I also have a bunch of these. From die cuts that I was cutting out that didn't cut properly. So it does give a little bit of a get a little bit of time, not much. But me thinking about you being able to hear my massage belt is making me giggle. And then do I still want one across the top? I don't think so. Time check. We're at 30 minutes. 3 down, 3 to go. Okay. This is the one that I know is in Spokane. This is in part of Riverfront Park. Spent a lot of time in Riverfront Park when I was doing supervised visitations. Had a family I was doing visits with up there, and we were able to do community visits. So We spent a lot of time in that park. Kind of sucked because, Spokane's, it's not a small, it's not a small place. There's not a whole lot of places you can get to that, that are within walking distance unless you already live downtown. And where this parent lived was not downtown. And she didn't have transportation, so she had to rely on, the city bus to get her places. And so, we spent so much time just sitting and waiting for mom to get like to the park or wherever. Because obviously I'm driving, but she's got to depend on the bus. And if the bus is late or she misses it, and it was just, in an 8-hour visit, we'd probably spend at least 3 of it just sitting and waiting for mom to get there. And it was like, it was nice to be able to get out of the apartment, because like I said, it was an 8-hour visit every Saturday. And so to be able to get out was fantastic. But because we were having to spend so much time waiting, my boss eventually said, nope, that's not going to be allowed anymore. And it was like we were stuck. Then we were back being stuck in the apartment. For 8 hours, which, for me and the child really sucked because as it was, we spent, 2+ hours in the car getting there. I was pushing, 3.5 hours in the car getting there because I had to drive to pick her up first. And her foster home was in the opposite direction of where her visit was. And my house was kind of between the two of them. So I would leave my house, go in one direction for a 35-minute drive, pick up the child, drive 35 minutes in the opposite direction, pass my house location, and then 2.5 hours, into Spokane. And so, and then it was an 8-hour visit. So, it was a nightmare because I was having to get up at, 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning to be able to get her picked up because we had to be to Spokane by 8. And I'm like, ugh. So, it was not fun days. So being able to get out was nice. So it really did suck when the boss was like, well, we're not doing that anymore. Because they felt that, it was a waste of time because the child wasn't getting to spend all that much time with her mom anyway, because her mom was on the bus most of the time. And I'm like, well, she's a teenager, so she didn't really care. She was happy to be out of the house too. But yeah, that sucked. I still think about Natalia a lot. She was probably no. She was literally the only child I supervised that I literally would have gone through the foster program and brought her home if I could have. Because, yeah, she was a really good kid. I spent a lot of time with her. A lot of time. I was pretty much the only one that did her visits. It was at the time myself and my coworker Carolina. We were the only two that were doing long distance visits like that. Um, and so it was either her or I that was going, and she ended up being the steady on another long distance case, and I was, with Natalia every weekend. Um, and yeah, I was just she was just an all around good kid. But I was spending 14, 15 hours every Saturday with her, with and 5 to 6 of that was in a car with just her and I. So we did a lot of talking. I really got to know her and her life story and her goals and her love of Spencer Reid on Criminal Minds. She at one time that was what she wanted to do, was become um, a behavioral analyst, BAU. Not sure what. Well, I know that didn't happen. Um, she actually crossed my path in a weird way in a different job several years later. But yeah, Spokane. Good old Spokane. Another one, again, I'm not sure where it's at. If I had to venture a guess, I would say Seattle. But I don't know. And I'm not going to tear anything off on this one. I want the weird shapes of this one. It just cracks me up. The way it reacts with the tape. This is lifting up. I'm not going to bother gluing it down because I'm going to be gluing this down. Now there is some purple in this, but I think this is the wrong shade of purple. Where'd that other dark green one go? I didn't think it'd be that hard to find, huh? Though I do like that one as well. Let's see if I could find any more of that one. Two different colored ones. Bring in some color. Bring in some color and then grab a black flower. Do I want another white flower? I think I do. So just to show you, it's a massage belt. It's nice. It massages and it heats, so I don't have to be stuck to a heating pad, to a cord. So it's nice. So I'm going to take this. I'm going to glue that to the side of the page here. This green one. Just going across there. Again, breaking the borders on both ends of the sewing. Because why not? Glue this whole thing down. Trying to decide what if anything I'm gonna put up on the top up there. And I have these two. And I'm gonna go here in here. And then I'll take my white flour. Put it right here. Almost want a second one. I think I do. I mean, I'll cut it out. If I don't like it, then, I'll have it for later, right? I'm like eyeballing my rolls of bling over there too. Like, ooh, do I want to put some bling in the center of my flowers? Ooh, train going by. Might hear the rumble. Ooh, I can feel it. It's a heavy train. She's a heavy. See, but then I would want to do like a third one there. There's my black ones. Wrong scissors. I'm struggling right now. I'm on the struggle bus. This is not what I was supposed to be doing here. Grabbed the wrong part. Wrong scissors. And then last but not least, all these parts everywhere. These parts and pieces. This one is Fussy Cut Little Farm. Tore out part of the map that says Washington. And again, for the most part, I'm going to leave this. I'm not going to tear it down. I'm going to leave it as is. Bring this down. Cover up the blank down there. Since there's music notes up here. Put the little farmy down. Like the little piece of book page sticking out the top there. It's a nice little scene from Washington. I'm going to go a little bit lower because I'm going to cut it off. Then, let's see. I put these back to back. Almost, but not quite. I mean, granted, they're not supposed to be back to back. They are supposed to go this way. Let's do this. Let's go. Washington tab. And we're going to take this. Like, am I still on camera? Barely, but I am. Okay, and then we're going to glue this one onto here. Let's just do it on both sides. You're not going to see that they don't match. So they're going to be on opposite sides of the tag, right? Now, do I want them to stick up a little, or do I want it to go all the way down? No, for this one, I want it to go all the way down. Maybe. Now I'm second guessing. I'm going to have it go up just a little bit as a tab. There's my green rag. I was like, where's my glue rag? Glue that all down. And then I'm just going to cut these little knobbies. Wondering. Nope. There we go. Just gonna cut them so that they're straight-ish. That did not get glued all the way down. Totally crooked. I'm cool with that. Putting those pieces down. Glue these pieces down. Have a white flower, got a black flower, got this remnant. Okay, I don't think I like any of those on there. Get this craziness picked up here. Those back in there. All right. So, another episode of using up your glue pages. So, I've made 6 tags. So, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. There we have it. Thank you very much for tuning in for yet another video. Hit the like button if you don't mind. Keeps me in the algorithm. And subscribe if you haven't already. I would greatly appreciate that as well. I am so totally not even on camera, on screen. Centered anyway, on screen. And hit the notification bell so you know when my videos are dropping. I'm slowly getting back onto my schedule. They're still not on screen, but you know, it is what it is. It is also 3 o'clock in the morning. So with that, I take the picture for the thumbnail. Minus the flash, because it's again telling me, oh, your battery's too low. It's always too low for a flashlight. So we will talk to you next time. We'll see you in the next video. Bye.